are here on a nice sunny day now after some rain earlier at AirVenture Oshkosh. I'm Dan Johnson, and I'm talking today with Patrick Aronson, the Vice President of U.S. Sport Aircraft. And Patrick, you have been busy on this airplane that we know quite well now. What was once known as the Piper Sport, for those that saw it that way, is back to being the SportCruiser, which it was all along. Same airplane all throughout, just a different name change there for a while. But this airplane's got something different on it that we've seen before, but we've not seen it on the SportCruiser.
It does.
That's air conditioning. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, in Texas, we get quite a bit of heat, so it was more a necessity than anything. With all our busy flight schools that we have, we decided that it was time to air condition this airplane.
You've had a lot of that this year, haven't you?
Yes,
it's been a hot year in
Texas. Lots of hot weather. That's right.
A lot of hot weather, so air conditioning in a bubble canopy, pretty good idea in Texas.
Absolutely, and we find that our flight instruction drops off quite a bit in the summertime.
Ah, does it?
With the air conditioning, we think we're going to be able to get a lot more useful flying days out of the year. So.
Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of this that's under wraps, if you will, inside the fuselage, and we'll find some other footage of the actual component bits and pieces, but there are some parts of it we can see right here in the airplane, and you said you could do something different with this one than in some of the other installations we've seen, because you can pre-cool.
That's correct.
Which means you can fire this thing up now, can't you?
That's right. We can fire it up right now. We can pre-cool the airplane before we go fly with students. We can, when we land, plug it back in, keep it cool for the next student.
Well, that's cool. Well, can you fire it up right now?
Absolutely.
Fire this thing up.
Here it goes.
Okay.
It sounds a little bit like a jet engine starting up, but...
It does sound like a jet engine getting going. Oh yeah, I can hear the air start moving. And these are the vents right back here over your shoulder?
These are the vents, and if you just stick your hand back there, you'll feel how...
That's a lot of volume of air coming in there.
Give it about a second, it'll start getting nice and cold.
Yeah, it's already a little bit cooler, but man, it's only been on not even a minute yet. Oh yeah, I can feel it getting cooler.
We find that the temperature drop is somewhere between 25 and 30 degrees.
30 degrees, is that right? I know in a home air conditioning system, somewhere around 20 degrees is considered good performance. I'm going to turn it back off now just so we don't constantly hear that, but
sure.
It's impressive that you know that
We're
that thing
also
is
working on
running.
technology where you'll be able to dial a telephone number and be able to turn your air conditioner on at your hangar remotely so that by the time you get there, it's already cool.
All right, you're going to have an iPhone now as well.
That's right. We'll sell you an iPhone with the airplane. So
I like that idea, though. Well, and again, it's fun to laugh about it here. It's a pretty nice, comfortable day at Oshkosh, but we've had a couple here this year when it has been burning up. And the ability to do that, it's kind of like in Minnesota where I used to live, they have remote car starters so you can warm the car up before you go get in it. I like that idea a lot.
So I'm sorry, Dan, how much does that whole system weigh?
The system weighs between 27 and 30 pounds depending on a few small things, but it's very, very light and very effective.
Yeah, for an air conditioner system, that's not much at all, although that does eat up a little bit of your payload.
It does, but we find that in Texas, I'd rather carry a little less gas and keep cool.
Sure, 5 gallons less gas, you've covered every bit of that, and actually shade more. So,
right.
How many aircraft are SportCruisers are out there flying now?
I believe we have about 300 in the States, and I believe there's about 600 internationally.
Is this system retrofittable to those aircraft?
It absolutely is. We actually have 10 pre-orders right now. So I'm going to be very busy. The installation is very clean, as you can well see. The only thing that you see in this airplane is your control module here and your vents back here.
And there's a vent on each side, right behind Patrick. There's another one if you couldn't see it in the camera view. And then you've got a return air up here in the top. Is that it?
That's right. And what that does as well is it helps with your heat in the wintertime. You can turn your recirculating fan on without the air conditioning component. It's going to recirculate that heat through the cabin.
What the heat that's already being produced and is available in the cabin.
Okay, what we've got here is each one of our units comes with this 24-volt inverter that you're going to plug into a wall socket. What this is going to allow you to do is to pre-cool that airplane. It's not running off a battery, it's running off a socket.
Literal house current.
House current, yeah, 110-volt system. And what that allows you to do is to pre-cool your aircraft. Now you're going to pull this box out of here, maybe stick it back on the partial shelf and go when you
I see, okay. So this is strictly for the pre-cooling part of the capability.
This is strictly for the pre-cooling.
Wow, that's a slick idea too. Okay, well what I'm looking at down there appears to be the compressors, and I know there are 3 little compressors. They're very small.
They are.
And then you've got some other parts somewhere else, but while I'm on that subject here, evidently the heavier parts are what appears to be almost on the CG line.
They are on the CG line. In fact, that with this installation done this way, the CG movement is negligible at best. It stays exactly the same.
So what are the other bits and pieces? I see a hose line going aft. what's back further in the aircraft?
So what we have back here is we have an evaporator and a condenser back here. This is your return air, and then of course the ducting that's required to get the
I'm
cool
standing
air
here
up.
talking to you, and we're right by a prop. Kind of looking at this and going, Sensenich, I don't believe I saw that before. That's a change for you.
You'll see a lot more of these on SportCruisers now. We have gotten tremendous increases in performance with this very prop.
Is that right?
As you see, it's a scimitar shape. Not only does it look a lot sexier,
Yeah, the curved shape we're seeing here on both sides.
but it performs significantly better. We're finding that if we set this for a cruise setting, that we're pushing that 120 knot envelope on this aircraft, whereas before we were in that 107 to 110, 112 knots.
So this got you 8 to 10 knots more by using, and then we're talking an American-made prop here, which most Americans
We
like
really
to
found
hear.
that it's a terrific prop. We don't lose any climb performance. All we do is gain cruise. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, free gift, and that's excellent.
That's the cheapest 12 knots I've ever seen on a
Yeah,
sport.
information about U.S. Sport aircraft, the airplane, Sensenich, the compressor, the air conditioner, and the whole bit.
Well, all the information can be found at our website at www.ussportaircraft.com, or you're more than welcome to contact our Texas or Florida facilities, and we can give you more information on how to get one of these air conditioners or props or an airplane.
Great. So all that's available, ussportaircraft.com, and they have all the contact information for both their facilities there. I've flown this airplane, not with a Sensenich prop. We'll have to change that. I have flown with the air conditioner. About all of that stuff, and contact the U.S. Sport Aircraft on bydanjohnson.com or bydanjohnson.com. Thanks for joining us here today at AirVenture Oshkosh.